let's talk about Rand Paul. He has been urged to focus on his Senate seat, which some people say he's in danger of losing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure he's in danger yet, but it's a possibility. He is perhaps, along with Scott Walker, the person who has, in the most dramatic way, failed to live up to expectations with his presidential race. I mean, he's really, in terms of fundraising, in terms of the polls, he really has not been very successful at all. And it's just, there's only so much room in this Republican presidential race, and there's already two other outsider senators, and maybe there wasn't room for a third. But this is potentially a good year for the Democrats in terms of Senate races. We focus so much on the presidential, the Republicans could lose the Senate. Again, I'm not sure Rand Paul's in danger right now, but if he were, that would be the last thing the Republicans would need in a year that could be tough for them.
One of the things that's created concerns, I think, for Republicans is that he hasn't raised very much money for that Senate race. He's raised, I think, about $156,000, which is not enough for a Senate race, even in Kentucky, which is not one of our biggest states. And Kentucky's also a state that could elect a Democrat, right? It's not a solidly red state. So I think there's some feeling that he's not doing well on the presidential race. He ought to focus on making sure that he's got his reelection set.
And really what this comes down to is a fight about money. Mitch McConnell doesn't want to take money he could spend in other competitive races and bring it back to Kentucky to defend Rand Paul. It's not that Rand Paul is likely to lose his seat, but he may need backup. It's interesting. You look at the polls right now. Rand Paul was bragging this week that he, I think, at 5% in one of the polls in Iowa, meaning he's in fifth place. There's 5 or 6%. His father won a little more than 20% of Iowa in 2012. Rand Paul's entire thesis for running for president is, I will take my father's coalition and I will expand upon it. I will take it into new communities and grow it greater. There's just no evidence that he's been able to do that at this point. In fact, his father's coalition has dramatically shrunk.